Come over here. This is WEMF Radio. Radio Now.
Citywide Blackout. Music, movies, and more.
New England's best arts and entertainment.
Hosted by Max Bowen.
Matt Zappa.
Keep those ears open.
Welcome back, everyone. Max Bowen, Citywide Blackout to WEMF Radio. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday. 'Cause tomorrow's Friday, folks. Big weekend, lots going on, some beautiful weather out there, the shows galore, amazing things going on, so go out, have some fun. Want to give a quick shout out to the folks at Outside the Box for providing, once again, another amazing showcase of literally dozens of artists, performers, dancers, you name it, they had it. I hope you guys got to check it all out, but if you didn't, no worries, I got you covered, because I was there all weekend doing interviews with some of the artists, and they'll be posted basically each week for the next month. We had Charlotte Dorr from Rosalie's Puppets. We had Manny Del Pare. He's a guy from he's a singer from Mexico City. Actually, formerly in Boston, because he went to Berkeley, so he was a Berkeley cat. We had Johnny Blazes from Johnny Blazes and the Pretty Boys, and a whole lot more. So keep it here to the citywideblackout.blogspot.com page for all those interviews, and check out the video on our Facebook page. If you want to get at me through Twitter, Instagram, the handle is CityWideMax. And you can also join the show today. Real simple. Call 617-500-7100. And ask questions of me, ask questions of the guests, make a music request, whatever you want. And I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown for what we have today on the show. So later on, I'm really psyched about this, we'll be joined by author Chris Philbrook. If you've read any of his books, and I'm sure a lot of you have, he's got A Dragon Among Us, Elmorin, and Adrian's Undead Diary. Definitely want to keep it tuned for that. Before that, we're going to have Matt Fuller from Dronehead Odyssey. He's back on the show again. We had him back on earlier on this year. He's back with a brand new album, Bang Bang Fortuna. It's kind of a different take on his music last time, which is a little more of an electronic feel to it. This is pretty different, and he'll be playing some for you live on the show. At 8:30, we'll be joined by the band Achilles. These guys are sick, okay? Amazing music, metal band. Just come on, check them out. We'll be playing some of their stuff from their recently released album Dirge for the Earth. But to start things off, I am joined by author Rob Smales. He's author of the recently released Echoes of Darkness. I started reading this earlier this week, and folks, I was hooked. I just churned right through the first story, put down, and said, okay, I'm not sleeping tonight. So I want to give a big thanks to the folks at the New England Horror Writers Association for helping to arrange this interview. And Rob, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Max.
All right. So to start things off, so Echoes of Darkness is actually a collection of 13 different stories.
Yes.
And these are not, and some of these are recent, and some of these are kind of farther back. I guess my question to you is when you were writing these stories, were these kind of like set aside for a down the road sort of collection for your work, or had it been published in other collections?
About half of them have been published before.
Okay.
Half of them are new, written specifically for Echoes of Darkness because the publisher demanded that.
The publisher demanded it, huh? You give the people what they want.
Yes.
All right. Give us a rundown for some of the stories. Do they all kind of fall into the same genre, or do they kind of span into different territories?
They all qualify as horror, but they're not the same. There are zombie stories, there are werewolf stories, there are stories that don't have a monster other than, what's inside your own head.
And that leads to my next question, because I read in the intro that this is not necessarily a book about monsters. That you really deal with darkness that's kind of found within ourselves, the more everyday kind of darkness. Like when you're driving on the road and someone isn't getting out of the way, you just want to drive them off, but you don't do that. But that darkness, but those dark thoughts are still kind of inside you. I guess my question to you, sir, is what's the darkness inside you?
You got to read the book to find out. And that's where the title came from.
Okay.
When I'm writing something, when anyone's writing anything, you're getting their inner self, their inner thoughts on the page, translated into a story. So you're getting a peek at what kind of makes them tick.
Mhm.
So what I've got there is 13 echoes of the darkness in my heart
Okay.
that hopefully is going to touch the darkness in yours.
Ooh, I think it already has because I read the first story, Death of the Boy,
Yes.
which is a zombie story. And I won't give any spoilers. You guys got to read it to see for yourself what happens. But you have some pretty cool characters. Of course, you have the boy, survivor of a zombie massacre, and he gets partnered up with this old man who's not really a nice guy. He's actually kind of a bastard.
Yes, he is.
He actually is a real bastard.
Yes,
I'm
he
really
is.
thinking, man, this guy's a jerk. But his he's not harsh for the sake of harshness, is he? He seems like he's kind of pushing and prodding and punching sometimes is kind of focused to kind of help this kid.
Yeah, there's a point to it. Just like there's a point to boot camp, pretty much. And the characters in that, they're a lot of fun.
Nice.
The old man, he's mean,
Yeah.
but he's a lot of fun.
Nice. Now, when you're like writing these stories, do you ever kind of scare yourself with what you come up with? Like, do you ever think like, wow, if I was reading this, I'd be a little terrified to turn the lights off?
No, but I'm writing about what frightens me.
Okay.
It winds up getting kind of translated through monsters or other characters, but it's all coming from inside of me. People who read my stuff have pointed out that I write about kids a lot. Mm-hmm. Horrible things happening to children. They say, you must really hate kids. No, I don't hate kids. One of my biggest fears ever is something happening to my son.
Yeah.
And I have written things before and been picturing him in the story. I didn't picture him in it until I was done.
Okay.
But then I'm going through and I'm editing it, and I'm saying, wow, if this was happening to my kid, I'd be really... And I had to go in and give him a hug. And he was like, what's this for? And I was like, no, just nothing. Just shut up and hug me.
You'll learn someday.
Yeah.
You'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna read your stories and think, whoa, geez.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. What would you say? So what would... all right, this is a bit of a spoiler, but what really scares you the most? I mean, the horror takes on so many forms. What kind of keeps you awake at night? I mean,
Anything happening to my son,
yep.
and anything where helplessness comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
Anything where something is happening and you cannot fight back and you cannot escape. And I need to be able to fight back.
Okay. Do you find that that's limited just to the supernatural kinds of horror, like fighting zombies and monsters, or can it be fighting a real life physical horror, just like a dude with a knife?
Oh, it can be real life
Yeah.
stuff. There's a story in the book called Wendigo. There isn't a monster in there,
Ooh.
but there's quite a bit of helplessness that's going on, which was also a lot of fun to write.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, it's the longest story
Yeah.
in the book. Yeah, that one kind of bothers me.
All right. Now, you mentioned earlier that one of the things that scares you the most is something happening to your son.
Yes.
And most of your stories involve kids.
Yes.
With that thought in mind, do you ever find yourself unwilling to, pull that particular trigger? Like, do you find yourself drawing a line and saying, okay, I won't let this happen to the kid. Out of anything, this won't happen to him. Or is it more fair game?
Everything's fair game, but there's two kinds of horror out there at the moment. There is kind of suspenseful horror. If you're into movies, that would be like The Woman in Black.
Yes. Oh my God.
And then there is the more extreme stuff, gross out horror, which in the movies would be Saw
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. Evil Dead remake that they did.
Exactly.
Ugh.
I'm more of a suspenseful type of writer.
Okay.
So there is bad stuff happening. I don't necessarily have to tell you exactly what's happening because you know it and you'll picture it yourself.
Okay.
I'm usually I'm not going to write anything that's worse than what you have in your own head. So I usually let people fill in the blanks. So nothing's off limits as far as what happens to the people, but I don't go whole hog and describe everything.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right, folks. We are going to take ourselves a little break, and then when we come back, I will be talking to more of Rob, more from Echoes of Darkness, and a whole lot more. So I'm going to give you guys a song from the band Pile. This one is called Baby Boy. This is Citywide Blackout, WEMF Radio.
You are listening to WEMF Radio. The radio now.
Citywide Blackout, WEMF Radio. Folks, thank you so much for joining us once again. Of course, if you want to join the show, you call in 617-500-7100 or post a message to the Facebook page. I'll respond and get you on the air. We're now joined by author Rob Smales, talking about his recent release, Echoes of Darkness, a collection of 13 short horror stories, zombies, werewolves, all kinds of monsters, sort of reflection of the darkness in his own mind, so you know what you're in for. And this is, this is not his first rodeo. He's published a lot of other stories over the years in different anthologies. The thing I want to talk about is a series of stories he did called the Friday Frights page. It's a collection of over 100 short stories, most about 1,000 words. And Rob, my question for you is, where did you come up with so many ideas for over 100 different stories?
That wasn't just me.
Okay.
There was a whole Friday Fright page online. What I was doing was, when I started writing, I write everything long. I overwrite.
Yeah.
I put way too much on the page, and I was telling you need to cut this, cut that. So I was trying to teach myself to write shorter. Mm-hmm. So what the Friday Frights was a group of us who every month there was a theme, and every week we'd get a more specific theme. So say the theme for the month was darkness.
Yeah.
Week 1 could be lost in the dark. Week 2 could be imprisoned in the dark.
Boy.
That kind of thing. And there were about a dozen of us. Mm-hmm. And so we would just take the prompt, lost in the dark, and we'd each write a story. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to keep mine to 1,000 words or less. Didn't always make it, but I was pretty close.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how long I did that for, but it had to be close to 2 years where I was writing one story a week to this prompt.
Jeez.
That was fun. Mm-hmm. Part of the fun was seeing that 12 different people coming up with 12 vastly different stories from the exact same prompt.
Cool.
And some of those stories did go on to actually be published online in various places.
Mm-hmm. All right. How do you scare someone in 1,000 words? Given that's like maybe like a page and a half in Microsoft Word. How do you scare them?
It's about 3 pages.
Oh, 3 pages. Okay.
And how do you scare someone in 1,000 words? You make them care.
Okay.
If the reader doesn't care about the person on the page, mm-hmm. whatever happens to them at the end of the story, when the twist happens, they're just like, eh.
Yeah.
So what?
Exactly.
He got, the dog ate him. Eh. But if you can quickly give a really, not really detailed, but a powerful character sketch right at the beginning, mm-hmm. and get them hooked into, I know this person. If you can kind of write an everyman or every woman mm-hmm. that is familiar to them, then by the time it comes to the twist, they have, oh my God, that's my aunt, or it's like it's someone that they know.
Yeah.
And then when it's happening, when the bad stuff happens, you get a reaction.
Okay. That's a good point, because you do see some books and movies where it's kind of obvious someone's there to be just cannon fodder for the monster. They're there to be like they're there to either be like a gore effect or a vehicle for a jump scare. You turn a corner and oh, this is a ghost. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But you obviously put like a lot more effort into your stories. Do you care about your own characters?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
I guess my stuff is character driven, mm-hmm. Meaning I don't really. I'm kind of a pantser. I don't really put out a huge outline. I have a mm-hmm. rough idea of where I want to go.
Okay.
I know where I want to start, and I know who I want to take the trip with. The problem is sometimes they don't want to go exactly the way that I want them to go.
Okay. Nice.
As I'm writing a character, the more I write them, the more I know about them, and then I will realize, oh, wait, I wanted them to do this. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't do that. They do something else, and then I have to change the story to take them into account because they're basically writing it with me.
Okay.
Which sounds really schizophrenic.
I was actually like esoteric, but that works too, I suppose.
That too.
Do you ever surprise yourself with the twists and turns that your stories take? Do you ever write something and think, "Whoa, where did this come from?"
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
I had a character come back into a story. I never meant him to come back into the story. He was supposed to be a throwaway, and then all of a sudden at the end, he just came back and it fit in, and I went, where did that come from?
Yeah. What the hell?
It worked really well, and when people read the story, they assumed that I planned that, which, of course, I said, yes, I planned that.
Yes. That was entirely done, yes.
Yeah, that was, I meant all that.
All right. So I want to move on to other short stories that you've done.
Okay.
So as we said earlier, you're a pantser. You just kind of let the story go where it goes.
Usually, yes.
Do you? I guess how do you get everything that you want to get into a short story form? Knowing that you only have 20, 30 or so pages. You mentioned that you like overwrite. Do you ever find yourself having to just like hack and slash a story to get it down to a more short story level?
All the time.
Yeah. And how difficult is that to do?
Sometimes that can be really hard.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I wind up having to read it again and again and try to pick out the things where that doesn't quite. It's neat. It's nice. It's a nice scene. I like it a lot. I did some fun things in that, and I'm not going to cut it and throw it away. I'll hold on to it, and maybe I can work it into something else. Mm-hmm. But if it doesn't make the story go, I don't need it.
Does it make the story go? I like that, because I do hear that a lot. People, won't keep an element in there, or a character, or a turn, if it doesn't really advance the plot.
Yes.
So you're not just keep something in for the sake of being scary or being creepy. It has to actually do something.
Yes. In a short story, everything has to drive the plot. Everything has to drive the story. And sometimes that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And there are some people who, they like long form, they like writing novels, they like writing novellas,
sure.
and you ask them to write a short story, and they just kind of look at you funny and go, I don't have enough room. And I only have, 5,000 words. I can't fit a whole story in that.
Yeah.
You can. It's a slightly different skill set from writing a novel.
Okay. Would you say it's actually more challenging than writing a novel, or are they kind of equally difficult?
I think they're equally difficult, and it depends on what your... kind of everybody's different, and it depends on what your specialty is and how you feel about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I started small. Mm-hmm. I started writing short stories because I wanted to learn how to write. And I could write a short story. I tried writing a novel. Mm-hmm. I have about 76,000 words of bulk novel written that does not hang together. As a novel, it hangs together as a series of short stories that don't really have any connective tissue, and back then I didn't know how to fix it. Now I do. I actually have 2 other full-length novels that I've written since then that are not good enough for publication yet.
Ooh,
but
yet. I like that.
Not yet, but they will be. I'm working my way up. I'm working on a couple of novellas at the moment. Mm-hmm. And so it's getting, as I'm learning to handle more and more complex stories, the stories are getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome. I want to also ask about the cover for Echoes, because I totally love the cover. This one is done by Mikio Murakami.
Yes.
And how'd you meet Mikio?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not. My publisher did. Mm-hmm. There is another anthology that I am in. It's a New England horror writers anthology called Wicked Seasons. He did the cover for that, and everyone was thrilled with the cover. Everybody was happy with it. Even people who weren't in it were just, oh my God, I love that cover. My publisher Books and Booze, and booze like boo, not
Yeah.
not drinking. But Books and Booze is basically run by Stacey Longo, who's my editing partner at the moment. She was the editor for that book, so she was dealing with Mikio then. And when we were talking about doing a cover, and she sent out feelers to various artists, and she said, I got Mikio came back, and he's in the ballpark with price-wise. I was just like, I want him.
Yeah.
I want him
Done.
now. Yes,
Sold.
pretty much.
Cool. Did he, I guess, did you guys like go back and forth with ideas for a cover, or did he just say, this is what I got?
We gave him basically a rough outline of kind of what the book's about,
Sure.
and some rough ideas. He came back to us with something. It was actually pretty close to the finished product.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of tweaks that we wanted to try. He was great to work with. She would send him a quick, can you try this? And he would be back within 24 hours with a new cover with a tweak in place. No, that didn't quite. So we were like, new wife moving the furniture. A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right.
Oh, God, yeah.
We're trying not to do that. We sent him two or three different ideas. He was great, sent everything back really quickly, and we're really happy with what we wound up with.
Very cool. And I'm actually just pulling up my copy of the book here, and so the image that we have here is like one of those like infinite mirror images where it's like image. Very, very cool, very creepy, actually.
Yes.
And we're looking at it thinking, oh, this is a different winner, because for me, a cover, what you use for the cover art can either hook me into want to read the book or say, I'll take a pass.
Yes.
Because some cover art is very generic, very like okay, this is some stock image, pass. Because it kind of tells me that if they didn't care enough to really find something that really exemplifies the story within, that really like symbolizes it, how much do they care about the whole writing process?
Right.
But that's just me. Doesn't mean it's true, actually.
No, it's not. It's not just you. Lots of people think that way.
I'm glad to think so.
And that's one of the reasons that I was so happy to have Mikio in doing the cover, because everything he does is original. So I don't have to worry about it looking like someone's not going to say, "Oh, I saw that cover."
Yeah, exactly.
Last year.
I saw that on like some other
I saw
book.
something just like that a couple of years ago. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and then you're gonna say, "Oh crap!"
Yeah.
Did I use someone else's image?
Exactly.
Oh my god. Well, Rob, you hear that music? You all can hear that music. That means we need to wrap this up, and I don't wanna, because I feel like you and I could just go on for a long time about books and horror and all that
Could.
jazz. Definitely. Where do folks go to learn more about you and to get your books?
Learn more about me, you can go to robsmales.com, ROBSMALES.com. And anybody who goes there right now, just to kind of celebrate me coming on the show,
That's right.
if you go to my website, go on the homepage, there is a little section right there that's got a code, and it's got a link. And if you click on the link and take the code, you can pick up it's a short story that I have that's out on Amazon at the moment, called Carol of the Bells. It's a wintry story, which is perfect for 90-degree weather.
I love it. It's great for July. I love it. Wait, what?
The cover looks an awful lot like a Christmas card.
Uh-oh.
It's not.
That's
really
so sinister. It's not.
But you can pick that up for free, and it's going to be there and free in the code. That gift code will work until the end of the month.
Excellent. So go, guys. Go and get your free story, and then get Echoes of Darkness. Okay, you will not be disappointed. Big shout out goes to Silent Q Design. It's
Yes.
Mikio's company, or the company he works for.
And if you, he does everything on Facebook.
Awesome.
So if you look him up on Facebook, you find a whole catalog of his art right there.
Definitely. And of course, to Books and Booze Press out of Connecticut.
Yes.
Check them out for all kinds of cool writers. And Rob, you were going to say something. Sorry.
I was going to say there's a group I'm also involved in called The Storyside. And if you go to thestoryside.com, there's 5 of us all working together and going over each other's stuff. If you sign up for the newsletter, you will get a free copy of that's my book.
Ooh.
Of Insanity Tales, which is 5 authors all working together, and it's another short story collection. It's insanely good.
Ooh, I can't wait. I'll check that out, definitely.
All right.
All right. right, guys, keep it here. We're gonna come back in just a little bit with Achilles. They got a brand new CD out. We're gonna play some music for you. In the meantime, I'm gonna give you guys a song from Mean Creek called the Comedian. This is Citywide Blackout WEMF Radio.